hands together and welcome our next speaker, the guy that loves to talk, Dan Weedin.
Mindy, easy. Easy. Whoa, 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 stop! Mr. Toastmaster, friends, and anyone who's ever had to teach their kid how to drive. You know the fear in these 5 words. Daddy, I got my permit. That little bundle of joy you brought into the world 15 and a half years ago is now in control of a 6,000-pound wrecking machine and your life in a vacant parking lot, and you don't even get a brake pedal on your side. And believe me, I tried using it. Imagine a peaceful Sunday afternoon. I was kicking back, watching Star Trek reruns, when a brilliant idea popped into my head. Mindy needs some drive time now that she's got her permit. Let's go on a family adventure. I was ready to boldly go where other dads had gone before. I just didn't know if they ever made it back. Our destination was the high school parking lot, the perfect spot. No cars, no lights, no pedestrians, no lawsuits. As my wife Barb was getting strapped into the back seat with our younger daughter Kelly, who was grounded at the time, we thought this might scare her straight. I traded shares with Mindy, and I confidently proclaimed to her like Captain Picard, "Make it so, number 1. With that, we went from 0 to 60 feet in 33 seconds. Mario Andretti she wasn't. More like molasses Mindy. So I looked at her and said, "Mindy, you can speed it up just a bit." "Dad, stop yelling at me." "I'm not yelling at you yet." From the back, Barb says, "Dan, she's doing just fine." Well, we got Mindy going in a straight line right down the middle of the parking lot at a blazing 5 miles per hour. Oh yeah, life in the fast lane. However, she took a right to come back the other way. A terrible thing happened. She discovered the gas pedal. Like a magnet, we're headed straight for the embankment off the edge of the parking lot. Easy, easy, whoa, 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 stop! Have you ever been this close to the edge? It was at that moment that I realized that in order to be a good driving instructor for your kid, you need patience, perseverance, and Valium. Well, we backed her out. We took several trips around the parking lot when a brilliant idea popped into my head. Let's go out into the real world. I hate when that happens. Well, we weren't in the real world very long when I started thinking, whose stupid idea was this anyway? That's when a terrible thing happened. All of a sudden, I felt myself leaning to the right. Straight ahead was a row of mailboxes coming at me quicker than a galactic meteor. I yelled, "Turn!" And we narrowly avoided disaster and a $1,300 repair bill. Mindy screamed, "You're yelling at me!" I screamed, "Grab the wheel!" Barb said, "Mindy, pull over." I thought, she's going to get it now. But instead of acknowledging that I had just saved the Starship Enterprise, I mean the car, Barb pointed at me and said, "You, in the back seat." Whoa. So I slinked to the back with Kelly. Guess I was grounded too. And covered my face with my hat. Barb turned to me and said, "Dan, are you covering your face because you're ashamed?" I I said, no, dear. I'm covering my face because I'm terrified. Then, to my horror, Barb says, Mindy, why don't you drive us home? So we're barreling down Postmark, and I'm looking through the teeny tiny little holes in my cap, and I notice that the light on Lincoln turns yellow. I did the math. Mindy didn't. Barb says, Mindy, slow down. Mindy hits the gas. Barb says, Mindy, stop. Mindy hits the gas harder. The next thing I know, we're flying through Postmark and Lincoln at warp speed. You should have seen the looks on the faces of the drivers. We come crashing down on the other side. Barb says, Mindy, pull over. Yeah. She goes ballistic. Mindy, what were you thinking? Why didn't you stop? Do you have a death wish? You know what Mindy said? You're yelling at me! So Barb turns to me and says, Dan, do you have any things to say to your daughter? I said, yes, dear, I do. Mindy, you're doing just fine. However, it's customary to stop at a red light, just like in Toastmasters. Let me show you how it's done. So I got out of the back seat with Kelly. We took our rightful place in the front and drove all the way home without incident. Fellow Toastmasters, if you can learn one lesson from me, learn this. The next time you're kicking back on a peaceful Sunday afternoon and a brilliant idea pops into your head, stop.